This is why I stretch every single day. Here are the benefits that I found personally with myself. It helps my sleep. It helps reduce pain and decrease inflammation. And it takes me out of what's called the fight or flight mode. And I also stretch to counter all of the injuries that I've had over the years. Most people have this confusion that the problem is the muscle. The muscle's too tight, so I need to stretch. That's actually not true. What really becomes tight is something that we're going to talk about called the fascia. If you think of a wetsuit that surrounds the entire body, when you injure your fascia, you develop scar tissue. So what happens, the fascial layers can no longer glide. They get stuck together like glue. And you might think, oh, I just have stiff muscles. No, you have a stiff fascia. Probably the worst case scenario fascial problem is when someone has contractures. You see people with bad posture that are literally stuck forward and they can't get out of this posture. So it's very unfortunate where this connective tissue literally keeps you in a frozen state. And now it's grown in that way and it's stuck. And it's very difficult, if not impossible, to undo that. If you start to find your body in a certain position, you want to actively and aggressively undo that position so you can keep things erect and keep your motion in your body. And so there's a right way to stretch fascia and there's a wrong way. So the more that you can elongate that tissue, the better, versus just a two-dimensional thing where maybe you're just touching your toes. What you're going to be doing in this first stretch is you're going to be holding this band behind your back, stretching all the stuff in the front, upper chest and shoulder area. Basically leverage using the band behind your back while you are looking in a certain direction and creating as much length as possible in that area. So I might do this for like 30 seconds and then I relax. Now we're going to stretch the side of your back and underneath your arm and the shoulder all at once, where we're doing a lateral bending exercise. Number 3 is a very important area because it stretches out a muscle called the psoas that attaches the upper body to the lower legs. This gets tight when we sit all day or we drive long distances. So we're going to do this with one leg first, and you're just going to mimic what I'm showing you right now. So we're stretching one psoas muscle at a time. Then the next stretch, we're going to stretch both psoas muscles at the same time, where you're kneeling and you're bending backwards, and you're taking all that fascial tension through the core with one side, and then we'll reverse it and do the opposite side. All right, this last one kind of combines a couple things. We're going to be using the band to get all the upper chest and your shoulders relaxed. So we're going to be kneeling and bending backwards with this band. In summary, if we all end up really stiff when we get older, you want to actively and aggressively prevent that from happening. And stretching on a daily basis is the ultimate answer for that. The type of stretching that you do is very important.